digging out of the storm. The millions of Americans now getting themselves out of a massive nor'easter tonight as temperatures are expected to plummet, making for dangerous and icy conditions. We have the latest details. And
there's a lot of hammers and cranes and construction. We haven't seen this in, 50 years.
If lead's going to kill you in Anaconda, it's going to kill you in Butte.
back from the brink. It used to be one of the most polluted places in America. After a decades-long cleanup, the future appears bright for this Montana town. But residents of a neighboring community say the government is leaving them behind. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including news of an American killed in the West Bank, marking what's potentially the death of an American in the occupied territory in just the last few weeks, as talks over a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas remain at a standstill. And the residents trapped on California's coastline after mudslides left them with no way out, and the measures they now have to take. But we begin with that massive winter storm slamming the East Coast, the system packing quite a punch and canceling more than 1,100 flights. And tonight, the major concern is temperatures plummet, perilous roads that have begun to ice over. In New York's Hudson Valley, a pair of trucks equipped with double plows tried to stay ahead of the snow on Route 59. In Peabody, Massachusetts, an ambulance taking a patient to a hospital had to swerve all of the way over in order to avoid a rollover accident. The storm also kicked up powerful waves and coastal flooding in Situate, Massachusetts, and made a challenge for voters in a key special election in Long Island to replace George Santos. But it was all over quickly, and by late this afternoon, a dazzling sunset over New York City. But tonight, temperatures are plunging. Our team is standing by with what areas need to be on high alert for black ice and dangerous conditions. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano leads us off tonight from Connecticut.
Tonight, whiteout conditions from the biggest snowstorm to hit parts of the Northeast in years. The fast-moving system dumping more snow in a few hours than some areas have gotten all season.
Easily a foot of snow here in Connecticut's capital in less than 8 hours. Just a super aggressive storm.
Trouble starting before dawn near Harrisburg. This driver getting a push from a police officer.
Well, I was on my way to work, but I got stuck in the snow twice. They just had a guy had to pull me to the gas station.
This SUV nearly causing an accident in Warminster, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. The conditions even making this plow truck driver fishtail. In Newberry Township, a snowmobiler was killed after he hit a down power line. Accidents and stranded cars littering roadways north of New York City. Westchester County officials declaring a local state of emergency. And Canadian long-haul trucker Sebastien Vanier, no stranger to snowstorms, waiting it out there.
So you're going to sit tight until the storm passes?
Yep. So probably I'm going to go make my delivery tomorrow morning when they open at 8 o'clock.
The snow, like concrete, giving plow truck drivers in New York's Hudson Valley fits.
Heavy. Very heavy.
In Mercer County, New Jersey, it was a bad day to be on a bike or to be making deliveries.
Slippery. You know, we can't even pull our hand jacks in the snow because there's so much snow and it's icy.
New York City schools putting some 900,000 kids on remote learning, the most since the pandemic. But there were major technical issues throughout the day. Gina Cerrito had trouble getting her sons logged in this morning.
If you weren't logged into your account by the time that they started having problems, you couldn't get in.
And icy conditions near Boston sending this car rolling over the median on I-95, nearly crashing into the ambulance that was recording this video, a passenger inside. The storm knocking out power to tens of thousands across the Northeast, and more than 3,000 flights canceled or delayed at crucial Northeast airports.
A lot of disruptions in the sky. Rob Marciano joins us now from Connecticut. And Rob, I understand there's real concern tonight about ice and dangerous road conditions.
Yeah, it's been, hey, Lindsay, it's been a really, pretty warm day for snow. It's been very wet, heavy snow, and road crews have done a really nice job actually getting at least the highways and some of the main roads cleared of it, but certainly secondary roadways, and there are areas where this wet, slushy snow remains, and temperatures are dropping tonight, well below freezing into the lower to mid-20s and teens in some places, so there will certainly be some hard pack and icy spots tomorrow morning where folks are going back to work, and those kids that had today off are certainly going back to school, could be on the slippery side. Lindsay?
I got to take your time out there on the roadways. Rob, thank you. And now let's get right to ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, who's tracking it all for us. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Lindsay, you're right. That wet, heavy snow is going to compact and then not go anywhere because the temperatures dip into the 20s tonight, into the teens in parts of Pennsylvania. So that's why you'll see that refreeze of anything that did get a little bit of melting or compression. But we're going to warm things up. By the end of this week, we will see high temperatures back to what is average for this time of year. For New York City, that's low 40s. Boston should get up into the upper 30s. So a little bit of a swing here coming from our storm. But I also wanted to mention, you know, now that we've had our biggest, and I put that in quotes because it feels not so big if you're putting it into big perspective, but still was the biggest snowstorm in more than 2 years in New York City at 3.2 inches. Well, that puts us in total at 5.5 inches, which is still more than a foot shy of where we should be to date on average. Lindsay.
And Ginger, while the Northeast is digging out from this snow, the Great Lakes region, parts of the Midwest are still wondering where winter is. Should they expect an appearance from Old Man Winter anytime soon?
That's the thing. There are a lot of sites in the Northeast that have had maybe top 5 warmest winters to date. But you go to the Great Lakes, and many of them are having #1 warmest winter to date. The Great Lakes themselves, those big bodies of water that I grew up on, well, at this moment, have less than 3% ice cover. That is extremely low, not just any point in the season, but especially right now, because usually late January and early February, we see the coldest air of the entire season in the Great Lakes. We have not seen that. And so usually you'd be at 38% for ice cover, but we're at less than 3. Lindsay.
Wow. All right. Ginger Z for us. Thanks so much, Ginger. And that East Coast storm has impacted a key special election for George Santos' vacant seat in Congress. Aaron Katersky has the latest.
In the middle of the snowstorm today, voters casting ballots to fill the country's most infamous congressional seat. A special election on Long Island to replace disgraced ex-Congressman George Santos could weaken Republican control of the House of Representatives.
What is important to me is that we do not have, unfortunately, another Mr. Santos.
Voters are choosing either Tom Suozzi, a Democrat who held the seat for 3 terms, or Mazi Pilip, a mother of 7 who served in the Israeli military.
Thank you!
And who's testing a Republican strategy to tie Democrats to the surge in migrants from the southern border.
Tom Suozzi created this mess. We cannot afford sending him to D.C. This is the day we're going to go out to vote to secure the borders, to support law enforcement, to improve our economy.
Suozzi says it's Pilip who's refused to support legislation to fix the border.
Her opposition to this bipartisan deal will result in the border staying open for years and years and years, and more migrants coming to New York.
Aaron Katersky joins us now. Aaron, I understand both parties went through major efforts to try to get out the vote despite this nor'easter. What can you tell us about the lengths that they went to?
Oh, they sure did, Lindsay. Neither candidate could afford to lose any voters in this incredibly tight race. So one Republican super PAC hired snowplows to clear the roads in the Republican areas of the 3rd Congressional District. Democrats were offering to drive voters to the polls if they couldn't make it out on their own. It is a tight race. Turnout is going to be key. Both parties poured millions of dollars into this race, Lindsay.
All right, we'll see if the snow ultimately has any impact there. Aaron Katersky, our thanks to you. President Biden is calling Donald Trump un-American after Trump said he would encourage Russia to attack one of our NATO allies if they didn't up their defense spending. President Biden is also furious at the Republican-led House, which is set to block aid to Ukraine. They say it's because of the border, and yet they turned down that bipartisan border deal just last week. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, President Biden imploring House Republicans to pass additional funding for the war in Ukraine, saying the U.S. has to send Russia and the world a strong message.
Supporting this bill is standing up to Putin. Opposing it is playing into Putin's hands.
He says the stakes got even higher when Donald Trump said he would actually encourage Russia to attack our NATO allies that failed to meet defense spending targets. Just the suggestion that Trump would support Russia attacking one of our allies infuriating Biden.
I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
Biden today firing back.
No other president in our history has ever bowed down to a Russian dictator. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I never will. For God's sake, it's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American.
The president saying House Republicans now face a stark choice.
House Republicans, you got to decide. Are you going to stand up for freedom? Or are you going to side with terror and tyranny? You're going to stand with Ukraine? You're going to stand with Putin? Will we stand with America or with Trump?
The $95 billion spending package, which also includes funding for Israel, has already passed the Senate with significant Republican support. But House Speaker Mike Johnson refuses to even bring it up for a vote. He says no more foreign aid without tougher border security measures. This, though, just last week, under pressure from Trump, Republicans rejected a bipartisan compromise, including the toughest border measures in decades.
Speaker Johnson, you want to fund Ukraine. National security begins with border security. We have said that all along.
Mary Bruce joins us now from the White House. And Mary, on that last point, House Republicans have long said there would be no more Ukraine funding without border security. So Democrats and Republicans in the Senate negotiated that historic compromise, the toughest border bill in decades. But then House Republicans, of course, decided they didn't want to take it. And now we're back at square one.
Basically, Lindsay, I mean, look, Republicans got what they had been demanding for months, a bipartisan border deal, and then they rejected it. Donald Trump derailing the whole thing, eager to deny President Biden a win on immigration. And now the House Speaker is back to making those same demands. And instead of funding the fight for Ukraine or negotiating with House Democrats, tonight House Republicans are focused on impeaching the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. They tried and failed last week. Tonight, Lindsay, they're giving it another go.
See if this one can have some legs this time. Mary Bruce from the White House. Mary, thank you. And there's some major political news shaping up just on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue tonight, with House Republicans convening a second floor vote to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas after their initial attempt failed. We'll bring you the result of what could be a historic vote as soon as we have it. And now to a scary sight in Southern California. Homes are teetering on the edge of a cliff after a landslide tore away a hillside. One massive home is now perched right at the edge. ABC's Matt River has those details.
Tonight, dramatic images showing homes on the edge, seemingly on the verge of falling into the ocean, just south of Los Angeles. A recent landslide sending debris plunging at least 150 feet below, ripping away this home's backyard, leaving the patio poking out just feet away from the cliff. That lighter area there where the collapse happened, you can see just how much damage was done. This could have been so much worse, but thankfully no one was injured. Officials say there is no immediate threat to the three multi-million-dollar mansions. One of the homeowners did not want to go on camera, but tells our station, KABC, his home is secure and has not been red tagged by the city.
I would be very nervous if I lived there, certainly.
This comes as much of California sits on saturated soil after several rounds of devastating torrential rain swallowed the region, triggering mudslides and landslides across the state. Just north in Santa Barbara County, more than 45 people were evacuated when cliff erosion left these balconies dangling. Adam Young, a researcher of coastal hazards, say those conditions can happen days, weeks, or even a month after the initial event.
We've had several large wave events that have washed sand off our beaches, and then you have something like this where you have a large rain event that can often trigger landslides along our coastline.
Lindsay, forecasts here in Southern California call for even more rain, another round of storms later this week, which of course raises fears that something like that could happen again. Lindsay?
Such a terrifying sight there, Matt. Thank you. In New York, the search is intensifying for two suspects in that deadly rush hour shooting on the subway in the Bronx. Police say a fight between two groups of teens on Monday spilled onto the platform, leaving a 34-year-old man dead and 5 others injured. All but one were innocent bystanders. Police released photos from a camera on the platform, asking for the public's help in finding the suspects. Now to an update on the case of David Barnes, an American who's been detained in Russia since January of 2022. He was charged with abusing his children while they were in Texas. Local authorities there investigated the accusations but never found any evidence of abuse. Nevertheless, today a court in Moscow found him guilty and sentenced him to 21 years in a high-security penal colony. David's sister, Margaret Aaron, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's just start off with your reaction to today's verdict.
Complete devastation. We always had hope that he would be acquitted. But actually hearing the verdict today is just devastating.
David's lawyer said that they will appeal. Do you have any hope that there would be a different outcome in that scenario?
There's always hope. I mean, you can't give up hope at all.
Have you been able to talk with your brother at all?
Yes, we have. The judge has given him phone calls. A lot of his concern is his nutrition. You know, you have to make sure that he gets supplemental food delivered to him because you can't survive on the prison food that they give him. That's a lot of his concern. And so we order food. It may or may not get to him.
And for those viewers who didn't hear our prior interview, just give us the backstory of how we ended up here.
Well, David married Svetlana. They had a child. Then they had another child. 4 years later. Soon after the second child was born, they went through a divorce. They had joint custody in Texas. They were living in Texas. Then she tried to get full custody. They had a custody trial. The jury awarded neither one of them sole custody, but kept joint custody. 2 days after that, she fled the U.S. and went back to Russia. During that time in Texas, she made false accusations of abuse by David that were totally unfounded. There was no basis for them. He was never convicted of anything because there wasn't anything.
Your brother went to Russia to see his children?
Yes. When Svetlana fled the country in 2019, he spent the next 3 years trying to find out where she went. He located her. Of course, COVID hit, so that delayed his actions. But he finally made it to Russia in December 2021, found out where they were, and was working through an attorney, a Russian attorney over there, to see what he could do to see his children.
What's your biggest concern for your brother now?
That he will not come home. He was sentenced to 21 years. I just worry for his safety, his health, and that he may never see his children again, may never get to come back home.
We understand representatives from the U.S. Embassy in Moscow have been able to visit David a few times. What would you like to see the U.S. government do about his case?
Bring him home, put him on the wrongfully detained list, and take action to get him back to this country.
What's your message for Russian authorities?
Just give him justice. The court clerk over there was in tears when David was given his testimony. I've heard the prosecutor doesn't believe her story. Do the right thing.
Margaret Aaron, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We know that this is a difficult day for you and your entire family.
Yes, it is.
Now to the Israel-Hamas war. News today of an American killed in the West Bank, believed to be the second American killed in the occupied territory in just the last few weeks. This is the Israeli military released new surveillance video they say shows a top Hamas leader escaping with his family through a tunnel under Gaza in the days just after the October terror attack. ABC's Marcus Moore in Israel for us tonight.
Tonight, this is Israel's most wanted man and the alleged mastermind of the October 7th terror attack, seen for the first time since war erupted in Gaza. The Israeli military releasing this video claiming to show Hamas terror leader Yahya Sinwar escaping inside a tunnel in southern Gaza, along with his wife, children, and brother. Sinwar, the last one out, carrying a bag just 3 days after that Hamas assault. The IDF thought they had Sinwar surrounded in Khan Yunis in early December, but failed to find him. Tonight, vowing to capture him dead or alive. Amid fierce fighting, Israel today ordering the evacuation of Nasser Hospital, the second largest medical center in the Gaza Strip, according to Hamas health officials, ahead of a possible new ground offensive farther south. Our team on the ground in Rafah filming the horrific aftermath of an Israeli airstrike. Abdullah Abu Adra saying his roof fell on top of his children in the bombing, asking, quote, "Where do we go? There is no safety." New before and after satellite images showing a massive tent city growing in Rafah, where nearly 1.5 million Palestinians are seeking shelter. So many living in fear, now on the move again.
This has been going on for so long at this point. Marcus Moore joins us now from Tel Aviv. And Marcus, we understand negotiations to free hostages still being held in Gaza, that they're inching forward. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that those negotiations, Lindsay, are underway in Cairo, and an Egyptian official tells ABC News that the talks today were positive and that they could go on for several days, but still no major breakthrough yet. Lindsay.
All right, counting down the days for that. Marcus Moore joining us once again from Tel Aviv. Marcus, thank you. Now to a disappointing new report on inflation that's rocking the stock market. Consumer prices in January were up 3.1% from a year ago, with prices for housing and food stubbornly high. Energy prices, though, did fall. The report dimming hopes of lower interest rates in the near future. The Dow falling 524 points, the biggest one-day loss since last March. Almost 3 weeks since a bronze statue of Jackie Robinson was cut from its pedestal at a Wichita, Kansas ballpark and later found destroyed. Police have charged a suspect and say they expect more arrests soon. 45-year-old Ricky Alderette charged with felony theft, damaging property, making false statements to authorities. Police say security video shows at least 3 suspects removing the statue. Authorities do not believe it was a hate crime and said the suspects wanted to sell the statue as scrap metal. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin today was discharged from Walter Reed Medical Center after being treated for a bladder issue. Austin, experiencing symptoms, was readmitted to the hospital's intensive care unit on Sunday and put under general anesthesia for a non-surgical procedure. Austin canceled a trip to Brussels set for this week. This was the secretary's 3rd hospitalization since his prostate cancer diagnosis in December. And we want to turn now to Washington for breaking news. The House GOP has just finished its 2nd effort to impeach DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Let's get to Jay O'Brien, who's on the Hill. Jay, tell us what happened.
So, Lindsay, this is now passed in the 2nd go-around. Remember, last week this failed in pretty dramatic fashion when 3 Republicans voted against this measure and then a Democrat showed up at the last minute from the hospital. Republicans regrouped and tried to do this all over again this week when they had their number 2 Republican, Steve Scalise, back in the building, who had previously been out for cancer treatment. Steve Scalise's additional vote, while there were some absences tonight in the legislative math of all, Steve Scalise's vote put Republicans essentially over the finish line with the number of people that were present and voting, which determines the threshold that lawmakers need. Republicans were able to pass this slimly with 214 votes. That now triggers a trial in the Senate. It puts the ball in the Senate's court. The Senate can take this up in a variation of ways. We've heard from Democratic sources in the Senate, and Democrats control the Senate, that they're going to try to move through this pretty quickly because in a Democrat-controlled Senate, it's almost a foregone conclusion that Secretary Mayorkas will be acquitted, despite the fact tonight he's been impeached by the House of Representatives. One more note for you, Lindsay, is that we've got a statement from the Department of Homeland Security that comes out right after this impeachment has now been formalized. They say, quote, House Republicans will be remembered by history for trampling on the Constitution for political gain rather than working to solve the serious challenges at our border. Again, that is a statement from the Department of Homeland Security. This is historic, Lindsay. Mayorkas is only the 2nd cabinet secretary in American history to be impeached. You and I were on the air together for World News Tonight when these impeachment articles were released. You'll remember we had that conversation that the last time this has happened was the 1870s in the administration of Ulysses S. Grant. Democrats say that this is a political ploy. Republicans say they are accusing Mayorkas and now have impeached him for the ongoing situation at the U.S. southern border.
And really, just to underscore that, we're talking about the first cabinet secretary to be impeached in nearly 150 years. And Jay, the same people who are voting to support him being impeached here in the House, the same people who are saying that a bill on the border was dead on arrival, the tools that could have helped Mayorkas to do the job that they're saying he's not doing.
That's exactly right. In the case the Department of Homeland Security is making is that they accuse House Republicans of weaponizing a policy disagreement rather than high crimes and misdemeanors. By the by, it's the same argument that those 3 House Republicans, Tom Whitlock, Mike Gallagher, and Ken Buck, have made when they voted no on this as well, and their no votes were enough to tank this last week. In the meantime, as you noted, while House Republicans were full steam ahead in impeaching Mayorkas in the previous weeks, the Senate was working on a bipartisan deal that had funding for Israel and Ukraine, and also these long-fought bipartisan compromises on immigration reforms. And when that came out, House Republicans said wasn't hardline enough, fully rejected that bipartisan effort, and instead went full steam ahead with their approach to the ongoing crisis at the southern border, which is impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and calling for more hardline border security measures, which are not likely to pass in a Democrat-controlled Senate. That's what the House of Representatives has been up to. Now, of course, the question becomes, A, what's the future for immigration legislation here now that Republicans have finally done this task that they have wanted to do for pretty much the year plus that they've been in power, which is impeach the Homeland Security Secretary? So what's the future for immigration legislation? And also, conversely, what's the future for funding for Ukraine that was so linked to immigration legislation that House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he's not going to put on the House floor now without hardline border security provisions, which is exactly what he said months ago when those talks started and then, of course, fell apart.
And Jay, just one last one before we let you go. As you alluded to, it is unlikely that he would be charged with this Democrat-controlled Senate. So what does this mean then ultimately?
Well, it's interesting because I posed that question to Republicans who were in support of this and Republicans who were opposed to this. So I talked to Ken Buck, for instance, who has been a notable no vote here on a lot of controversial Republican pieces of legislation, but this impeachment resolution too. And Ken Buck said to me he is concerned that by impeaching a cabinet secretary based upon what Buck believes are policy disagreements, you can open a can of worms for this idea of perpetual politicized impeachment. That's something that moderate Republicans who oppose this said they are very worried about. On the flip side, Republicans who had long wanted to do this believe that they are finally holding the administration accountable for the ongoing crisis at the southern border. Now, the administration and DHS says instead of impeaching the cabinet secretary, they'd like to work with Congress on some kind of legislation that up to this point Republicans have rejected.
Jay O'Brien, our thanks to you. And now I want to bring in ABC News contributor and former representative, former Virginia Barbara Comstock, to break down the politics at play behind the House vote to impeach Homeland Secretary Mayorkas. Is this much ado about nothing, Barbara?
Well, there's not going to be too much that comes of it. They had to fit it into this small window tonight because there's a special election in New York in George Santos's seat, where Republicans were very worried about losing that seat. It looks very close. So if they didn't get this opportunity tonight, that would be another vote that would go in the Democrats' favor against impeachment. Then when you move this over into the Senate, it very well could just be dismissed without even having a trial. And I think, with just a majority of votes, and I think you would have somebody like, say, a Senator Romney join the Democrats in opposing it. So you had in the House bipartisan opposition to impeaching Secretary Mayorkas, and I think you will have bipartisan dismissal of these charges. And I think that would probably be more helpful for Republicans, particularly if you're a Republican who was sort of forced to walk this plank and vote for this impeachment, because some of the impeachment managers that I believe Speaker Johnson has already named are people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, if she is given a stage in an impeachment trial, would certainly be a huge embarrassment for House Republicans, particularly those who are, going to be in close seats.
Yeah, but Barbara, as we just discussed with Jay, since it's highly unlikely that this Democrat-controlled Senate will actually charge him, Republicans still press forward anyway. What do they seek to gain here? What's the end game?
Well, it's mostly fundraising, which, I think has been pointed out. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene fundraise off of this. This has really been seen as a substitute to sort of quell that base of people like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Andy Biggses, think some of the other people have been named as possible impeachment managers who really want to impeach President Biden, but they haven't been able to put together that impeachment. So unfortunately for Secretary Mayorkas, he sort of drew the short straw because of immigration being a problem. They thought they could throw this one out as the substitute for the presidential impeachment. But I don't think he's really a very good boogeyman himself, for Republicans to use, because whenever he's testified, I think he's been fairly effective advocate for himself, for the administration. And this really is not going to go any further than this vote tonight in whatever fundraising emails that people are all going to be flooded with now.
And so, as you say, this isn't going to go much further, but is there any way that this can backfire on Republicans?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, I mean, if they had people dragging this out, well, listen, I mean, Speaker Johnson was asked today, why aren't you going to take up the foreign aid package for Israel, which Republicans by and large support, for Ukraine, which a majority of Republicans, even in the House, do support. Why aren't you taking that up? And he said, well, because we're working on appropriations, yet they do this vote tonight. So certainly this can backfire because they aren't getting things done. And now, after tonight in the special election, they may have one less vote to get those things done. And, if you've been in charge, if you're in the majority, you need to be able to go back to your voters and say, we got these things done, not just, attack the White House, particularly when the White House made concessions on immigration. And you had a lot of Republicans, particularly conservative Republicans like, Senator Langford from Ohio, one of the most conservative, who, negotiated this immigration package, which would have improved things for people. And, it's whether it was everything everybody wanted, it was a step in the right direction for Republicans. And so now to not have anything done for the rest of the year on immigration is certainly troubling. If you really think it's a crisis, to say it's okay to have nothing done is not a good answer after you've been saying all year, hair on fire, we have to do something.
And there were questions initially about Speaker Johnson's control in the House after that first failed vote. Does this in some way vindicate him at this point?
Well, it was pretty, it was one vote tonight, I believe, and there were two Democrats who weren't there. So, pretty close once again. And again, I think the fact that he is not letting a bill on the floor with the foreign aid package that has majority support, that is a problem. And it's a problem that's, because of one man, Donald Trump. And so when you're trying to say you represent your caucus, you're going to let, things come forward, you're going to have a democratic process. That was the whole idea. People were mad at Kevin McCarthy that they didn't think he was letting things onto the floor to let everyone have a vote. Let's see what everybody wants. And now, because one man, Donald Trump, has said he doesn't want something on the floor and he doesn't want a solution, now they are not going to vote on something. Certainly, aid to Israel is something that Republicans, way back, for decades and decades have supported. Majority Republicans support aid to Ukraine. So, this is not the Republican Party that Ronald Reagan, tear down this wall. And then here you have Donald Trump saying, hey, Russia, come on in and, go after NATO. That's a pretty troubling dynamic to have to go home and sell to swing voters, at least.
All right, Barbara Comstock, our thanks to you. I do want to just pass along a statement from President Joe Biden on this impeachment that we've just gotten. And he says that history will not look kindly on House Republicans for their blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship that has targeted an honorable public servant in order to play petty political games. He goes on to talk about him being a Cuban immigrant who came to the United States with his family as political refugees and has spent more than 2 decades serving America with integrity in a decorated career in law enforcement and public service. Also have a statement from Speaker Johnson just after the House voted to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary. And he said, for nearly a year, the House Homeland Security Committee has taken a careful and methodical approach to this investigation, and the results are clear. From his first day in office, Secretary Mayorkas has willfully and consistently refused to comply with federal immigration laws, fueling the worst border catastrophe in American history. I want to bring back in Jay O'Brien here. Jay, you talked about the process at this point, that it will go to the Senate. What's the time frame that we can expect that to happen?
That's in some way up to the Speaker. So the articles of impeachment, if we recall from the Trump impeachments, have to be formally transmitted to the Senate. And there is a ceremony in which they're walked across the Capitol to the Senate to begin the trial in the Senate. And once they're transmitted, though, the ball is in the Senate's court as to exactly how to proceed here. Again, this is a body, the Senate, controlled by Democrats, very almost certain to impeach Secretary, or rather to acquit Secretary Mayorkas after he's been impeached by the House of Representatives. The Senate holds the trial and votes on whether or not to convict and remove the person who's been impeached. But the Senate has a few options as to how they want to carry out that trial. They can do it like the Trump impeachments were, in the more formal setting where that trial is done on the Senate floor and senators sit there at their desks and they listen to the various members of the House of Representatives who have been selected as the impeachment managers and serve as the de facto prosecutors, make their case, and then there are representatives for whoever's been impeached defending the individual, and it's like a formal trial you see play out there on the Senate floor. They can do that. They can refer this to a committee and have that trial, in a sense, take place in that committee, which allows the process of the Senate floor to continue. Senators don't have to sit there for that trial, and the committee holds the kind of trial. And there's one more thing they can do. They can motion to just acquit him outright once they get these charges. There can be this relatively quick vote that essentially says, all right, who agrees with this, that he should be acquitted, or who says he should be convicted, and they hold the vote relatively quickly without having this kind of long, drawn-out trial. So the Senate has a few kinds of options here. But again, we haven't heard much from Senate Democratic leadership as to how they want to proceed, but you can expect, given everything else the Senate has to do this time of the year, including fund the government, by the way, the deadline for which is in March, you can expect them to want to deal with this relatively quickly, given the fact, A, that they've got stuff to do, and B, that this chamber is controlled by Democrats.
Jay O'Brien, we appreciate your comprehensive reporting on that. And we still have a lot to get to here on Prime. Coming up, our DeMarco Morgan takes his friends for a preventative and potentially life-saving procedure. But next, we take a look behind the numbers. As for voting on a weekday, the U.S. is the only advanced industrial democracy that does not schedule elections on a weekend or a national holiday.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane.
Celebrity attorney Tom Girardi.
This story was a nuclear explosion.
Today, several victims will get a chance to finally meet Erica Girardi.
I'm at sort of a loss for what to say.
Did you see the documentary?
The Housewife and the Hustler? I did.
I wanted Erica to say, I'm sorry, face to face.
Erica, why did it take you so long?
The Housewife and the Hustler 2, only on Hulu.
First
first thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Yet another avalanche warning that's up.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. A dangerous ice storm is impacting the morning commute.
What's happening today? Escalating tensions in the Middle East.
What people are talking about, the migrant crisis.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
How does billionaire sound?
Sounds good to me. The moose started chasing a dog.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
So the question is...
Okay, here we go.
Are you kidding me?
What would you do? You just won't believe what people do when they think no one's watching. And this season, I brought Sarah Haynes and Kamal Bell along for the ride.
All right, let's break it.
Is John Theonis here?
I was here all the time.
The all-new season of What Would You Do premieres Sunday night on ABC.
Why do so many people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in the know and get a different take on the day's top stories.
A lot of news today, so let's get into it.
Listen now to the Daily News Podcast honored with 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards and see why the New York Times calls it a news podcast worth listening to. Start Here, ABC News. Make it your daily first listen.
Now, that's a part of the story I bet you didn't see coming.
Wherever you get your podcasts, Start Here.
It's lunchtime in America, so what are we serving up?
Well, how about everything you need to know?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
Give it to me. Your health, your money, breaking news, pop culture, with the biggest stars, music, trends, and of course, good food. GMA 3, what you need to know. A third hour of GMA in the afternoon.
So join us, afternoons.
For everything you need to know. I love that.
Reporting from the nuclear-armed ballistic missile submarine, the USS Kentucky in South Korea, I'm Martha Radin. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back on this snowy Tuesday in the Northeast. Intrepid voters made their way to the polls today for a special election to replace expelled U.S. Representative George Santos. No matter who wins, the contest has been considered a possible bellwether for congressional elections this fall. And it's left us wondering, once again, why do we vote on a work day? So we're taking a closer look at what voters are saying about how we vote by the numbers. 72% of voters think Election Day should be a national holiday. That's according to a recent Pew Research Center survey. Support for the idea is growing and also bipartisan. Early voting is another widely popular idea, with 76% in support of making early voting available for 2 weeks leading up to Election Day. But voting by mail is more divisive. 84% of Democrats say anyone who wants to should be allowed to mail in their ballots, while just 28% of Republicans favor vote by mail. That's a big change. Just 4 years ago, nearly half of Republicans were okay with the practice. Overall, 57% of voters support automatic Election Day voter registration, and 69% say convicted felons should be allowed to vote after they have served their sentences. As for voting on a weekday, the U.S. is the only advanced industrial democracy that does not schedule elections on a weekend or a national holiday. And we still have much more ahead here on Prime tonight. A masterpiece of Gothic architecture is back on display, marking a milestone for this iconic structure. We tell you what it is. And are you part of the 33% of Americans who are not getting enough sleep? We bring you some tips on how you can catch more Z's.
Whenever, wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Here in London, in Buffalo, Uvalde, Texas,
Edinburgh, Scotland, from Poland once again tonight. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw. Do you think you'll ever be able to go back home?
We're heading to a small community outside of Mexico City.
Splintered houses and splintered lives, and the magnitude of the devastation. You're streaming ABC News Live. Reporting from Rolling Fork, Mississippi,
Santa Fe, New Mexico, Raleigh, North Carolina,
the U.S. Capitol,
Mayfield, Kentucky, Minneapolis,
Mexico, Tongass National Forest, Alaska.
Getting you behind the stories as they happen, giving you a front row seat to our world as it plays out in real time, live. ABC News Live Prime. We'll take you there.
Stream ABC News Live weeknights, America's most honored streaming news program, only on ABC News Live. Streaming free right now wherever you stream your news.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Yet another avalanche warning that's up.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. A dangerous ice storm is impacting the morning commute.
What's happening today? Escalating tensions in the Middle East.
What people are talking about. The migrant crisis.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
How does billionaire sound?
Sounds good to me. The moose started chasing a dog.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news. Whenever, wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Here in London, in Buffalo, Uvalde, Texas, Edinburgh, Scotland. Reporting from Rolling Fork, Mississippi, Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw. We're heading to a small community outside of Mexico City, getting you behind the stories as they happen. ABC News Live Prime. We'll take you there.
Stream ABC News Live weeknights wherever you stream your news. Only on ABC News Live.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
Why do so many people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in the know and get a different take on the day's top stories. Start Here.
Now, that's a part of the story I bet you didn't see coming.
Make it your daily first listen, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are here in Israel, a nation at war.
We've seen tank after tank pouring into this area.
This is where it all began.
Bullet holes all up the wall.
Within minutes, the air raid sirens going off.
You can hear the sound of an explosion.
We are pinned down here.
Tonight, Israel waging a fierce bombardment of Gaza.
The Israel-Hamas war. For non-stop live coverage, stream ABC News Live.
Reporting from southern Israel, from the front lines
In downtown Ramallah.
In Beirut.
wherever the story is, we'll take you there.
ABC News Live.
Welcome back. You are joining us tonight just minutes after the House voted to impeach DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. It was a razor-thin vote, and that impeachment vote will now go over to the Senate. In other news tonight, the FBI's urgent warning about QR codes, flight attendants go on strike, and the first day of Mardi Gras. These stories and much more in tonight's rundown.
At 109, Viola Ford Fletcher is the oldest person in history to have written a book titled Don't Let Them Bury My Story. Part of her story involves her surviving the Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921 when she was just a child.
A group of people were killed, their homes were burned, and the things, business, churches and stores and theaters and anything that the black people owned or operated was destroyed.
100 years later, I mean, she's happy to still be here.
This May, Viola will be 110. Her grandson is beyond proud, and rightfully so.
I said, one day people are going to line up around the corner to buy your book.
Scammers putting fake QR codes over the real ones, hoping to trick parking garage customers into transferring them money. Fake QR codes aren't just misdirecting your payment in garages like this one. The FBI telling us thieves often use QR codes to take your money and steal other important personal information.
What happens when you scan a QR code that isn't the one you're supposed to be scanning?
It can give the criminal access to your phone, which then allows them access to any apps that you normally use. It can also drop some sort of computer intrusion type of software that can alter your phone and steal credentials.
U.S. Marshal Service reports that federal judges and prosecutors saw a triple-digit increase in threats last year. Those threats targeted nearly 460 federal judges, more than 150 federal prosecutors. That's nearly double the number of threats against those judges and prosecutors from the year before.
Tens of thousands of flight attendants across 30 airports in the U.S. are walking off the job today, demanding higher wages and better working conditions. Flight attendants also say there's a historical culture of sexism that needs to change.
Workers in Paris finally removing scaffolding that shrouded the top of Notre Dame Cathedral since a devastating fire 5 years ago. Marking a milestone in its reconstruction, officials expect to reopen Notre Dame next December 8th, a few months short of reopening in time for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris.
Mardi Gras celebrations kicked off in New Orleans today. The city and its people decked out in Mardi colors.
We do what we do because there's nothing like it in the world.
Mardi Gras is celebrated on Fat Tuesday and comes to an end at midnight, marking the start of Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent.
Not getting enough sleep? The CDC now says 33% of Americans are falling short of the recommended amount of sleep each night. For adults, 7 or more hours is recommended. And experts say anything shy of that can also lead to other illnesses. So what can you do to improve your sleep? ABC's Rena Roy has the details.
It's a problem for millions of Americans getting enough sleep. The Centers for Disease Control says that 1/3 of Americans don't get the recommended amount of sleep each night.
For the vast majority, we need between 7 and 9 hours, and each of us are at a different position in that range.
The CDC says that not getting enough sleep is linked with many chronic diseases and conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and depression. Dr. Rebecca Robbins, a sleep scientist at Brigham and Women's Hospital, says that in addition to getting enough sleep, sleeping on a consistent schedule is also important for your health.
Sleep consistency is really important and a significant predictor of a number of health outcomes. So when we're keeping consistent schedules, we're able to fall asleep faster into deeper, more restorative sleep than if we're keeping what we call yo-yo schedules.
Dr. Robbins recommends not changing your sleep timing by more than 1 hour. If you don't get enough sleep at night, there's an old-fashioned method that can help you get back on track.
The best way to do that is with naps that will allow you to repair and restore, kind of get back to neutral without the adverse implications of extending our wake times or sleep times dramatically.
Other ways to help you get healthier sleep are choosing a good mattress, making sure the noise level in your sleep area is quiet, and keeping the room temperature in the mid to upper 60s. Dr. Robbins also recommends developing a calming routine each night before you sleep, such as reading or meditating.
A bedtime routine is critical, and we really start to, in doing so, practicing a relaxing bedtime routine, classically condition ourselves to know that after that routine, what comes is sleep.
Always love a good old-fashioned nap. Our thanks to Rena for that. This Black History Month, we are celebrating the community and also raising awareness about issues that impact Black people. Black Americans are 20% more likely to get colorectal cancer and 40% more likely to die from it. But it's specifically Black men who are at the most risk. ABC's DeMarco Morgan has the importance of getting a colonoscopy and how it could save your life.
So today is prep day. And tomorrow is the big day.
I got this first one down. It's pretty tough. I got to try to finish this in less than 2 hours. I think I can do it too. Wish me luck.
24 hours before the procedure, we are put on a clear liquid diet. The next morning, we are on our way.
Ronnie, you nervous?
Yeah, actually I am. But I'm all right.
I'm not nervous. I'm ready.
He nervous. I'm nervous too.
May I have your last name and the doctor you'll be seeing today?
Last name is Morgan, and the doctor is Dr. Pacheco.
Dr. Paolo Pacheco, a gastroenterologist here at the Manhattan Endoscopy Center, and NYU Langone will be performing our procedures.
So how do you guys feel this morning? Did preps go okay last night?
Yeah. And is it true that the prep is like the worst part?
The prep actually is the hardest part, and the anticipation, right? It's really important to follow those instructions, and you guys obviously did, so I appreciate that.
Dr. Pacheco addresses one of our biggest concerns.
What's the level of pain?
You should feel no pain.
Okay.
So the anesthesia that we provide is going to basically relax you, make you really comfortable, and just put you at ease, so you'll feel as if you're having a really nice sleep.
And is this the first time that you've seen a group of guys come in together to get colonoscopies?
Absolutely. So this is very unique. You know, flying up here for this is pretty great.
And the doctor's take on why it's often tough to get men on board for screenings like this.
I don't know what it is, machismo, whatever it is, men are less likely, I think, to be as willing to do this.
Along for the ride,
Dr. Darian.
ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton.
We don't get these screenings. We don't talk to our family members about it. So that's why I'm so excited to be here today and to do this process with you.
Ronald Stewart?
It's on to our pre-procedure assessment, where a nurse takes our vitals.
Do you have any pain right now anywhere?
No, I'm a little tender.
And reviews our medical history.
No problems with your lungs, asthma. Okay.
Then into our gowns.
You ready? You ready?
Are you nervous?
Yeah, not as nervous as I was when I walked in.
I am so proud that you were doing this.
Thank you.
Not
This is
only
important.
Just in general, but in front of the world. As black men, statistically, there are some studies that show that we're less likely to be offered colonoscopies. But what you're doing today is going to save more lives than I can ever do in a shift in the ER. So when you wake up, you're going to feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and screened. And then we're going to be done.
Clean. Screened and clean. Come on out, Ronnie.
Just before heading in, we ask any last-minute questions.
Ron Stewart, man, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
I'm up first.
Oh my God, it's about to happen now.
Usually a few seconds before, it all becomes real, right?
It's real now.
Yeah.
The anesthesiologist monitoring my vitals throughout the procedure.
And what you see here is the inside, and this is all normal healthy tissue, which is what we typically see.
A team of technicians are assisting him. A short time into the colonoscopy, the doctor finds something.
There is a polyp there. So that's a little polyp. This is what we basically do colonoscopies for. I can't tell you the pathology until next week, but this looks like a traditional common adenoma.
Dr. Pacheco removes the polyp.
Open it all the way.
Where it will go to a pathologist to test for cancer.
Close. Cut. Perfect. So cecum clear, ileum clear, ascending colon 1. Oh, there's another polyp.
A second polyp also removed for biopsy.
That's exactly what we want. The polyps in the middle, see the normal tissue around it, and we suction that one. Watch this. In the channel.
So now the polyp is gone.
Less than an hour later, my colonoscopy is finished, and I felt nothing.
Your colon looked fantastic, DeMarco.
Up next, Alfred.
Alfred's prep is excellent, and there is a polyp here.
Like me, Alfred ended up having 2 polyps removed for biopsies.
Close. Perfect. We have completed the exam.
Just one, huh?
Just one, that's it. That's it. Nothing bad.
And finally, Ronnie.
So I'm gonna slowly withdraw.
Despite conducting the prep properly, Dr. Pacheco found that a third of his colon wasn't fully clear. The doctor did work searching for polyps in the portions of his colon that were visible. In recovery, we are monitored by the nurse and anesthesiologist.
You're in recovery now, okay?
Everything went fine. Your procedure went perfect. It was exactly what we normally see. Your colon was really well cleaned out. You did a great job.
I felt a little groggy, but grateful.
I don't know why I'm emotional.
It's okay.
As for the fellas, they recovered as quickly as I did, feeling great with no pain at all. We compared notes.
To me, the toughest part was the prep, and I thought this would be the toughest part. This was actually the easiest.
Yeah.
If I had to tell my friends, I would say it's not that bad. It's one day.
We have an idea of what we think this is, but honestly, I'm glad I did it.
You now are an example of the fact that when it's over, it's no big deal.
One day that can save your life. One sacrifice.
A potentially life-saving test right there. Our thanks to DeMarco and his friends for that. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Be sure to stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. And coming up in the next hour, House Republicans vote to impeach a cabinet member for the first time in nearly 150 years.
Why do so many people
people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in the know and get a different take on the day's top stories. Start Here.
Now, that's a part of the story I bet you didn't see coming.
Make it your daily first listen, wherever you get your podcasts. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
It's lunchtime in America, so what are we serving up?
Well, how about everything you need to know?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
Give it to me. Your health, your money, breaking news, pop culture, with the biggest stars, music, trends, and of course, good food. GMA 3, what you need to know. A third hour of GMA in the afternoon.
So join us, afternoons.
For everything you need to know.
I love that. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
So the question is...
Okay, here we go.
Are you kidding me?
What would you do? You just won't believe what people do when they think no one's watching. And this season, I brought Sarah Haynes and Kamal Bell along for the ride.
All right, let's break it.
Is John Theonis here?
I was here all the time. The all-new season of What Would You Do premieres Sunday night on ABC.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane.
Celebrity attorney Tom Girardi.
This story was a nuclear explosion.
Today, several victims will get a chance to finally meet Erica Girardi.
I'm at sort of a loss for what to say.
Did you see the documentary?
The Housewife and the Hustler? I did.
I wanted Erica to say, I'm sorry, face to face.
Erica, why did it take you so long?
The Housewife and the Hustler 2, only on Hulu.
Whenever, wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Here in London, in Buffalo, Uvalde, Texas, Edinburgh, Scotland. Reporting from Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw. We're heading to a small community outside of Mexico City. Getting you behind the stories as they happen. ABC News Live Prime. We'll take you there.
Stream ABC News Live weeknights, wherever you stream your news.
I'm Ian Pannell. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We begin tonight with breaking news in the House of Representatives. After a second try, Republicans have just voted to impeach DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The razor-thin vote played out along party lines. The margin just a single vote. 3 Republicans voted against the impeachment. In a statement tonight, President Biden is blasting the move, calling it a, quote, blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship. Speaker Johnson, in a statement, said Mayorkas deserves to be impeached. So what happens now? Let's get right to our Jay O'Brien on the Hill. Hey, Jay, this was a razor-thin vote. Talk to us about how it all went down.
Yeah, this was a squeaker. So Republicans needed 214 yes votes to pass this. They got exactly that, 214. No margin for error. They had to pass this by bringing back their #2 Republican, Steve Scalise, who was absent for the last time Republicans voted on this when it failed in pretty dramatic fashion last week. He's been out receiving cancer treatment, but with him back and his assured yes vote, Republicans were able to put this over the goal line. Remember, Lindsay, the argument that Republicans have been making is that Mayorkas violated U.S. immigration law by not taking a more hardline stance on border security. The administration says that this is a political stunt. DHS says this is baseless. The reality here is, no matter what it is historic. Mayorkas is only the second cabinet secretary in American history to be impeached. The last time the U.S. encountered something like this was about 150 years ago during the administration of Ulysses S. Grant.
And now the vote moves to the Senate, where it's expected to fail. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is out with a statement calling it a, quote, new low for House Republicans. What options do lawmakers have there in the Senate?
So for the moment, the timing of all of this really does hinge on Mike Johnson. It's up to the Speaker to transmit the articles of impeachment over to the Senate, and it's unclear when exactly he's going to do that. But once he does that, it's the Senate's ball. And the Senate, as you know and as you said, is controlled by Democrats, so almost certain to acquit Mayorkas. It's up to the Senate whether or not you get acquitted or convicted and removed from your job or not removed. It's the House's prerogative to impeach someone. The Senate can hold a trial on the Senate floor, as we saw during the Trump impeachments. They can hold a trial in a committee, meaning it wouldn't be on the Senate floor and it wouldn't interrupt the day-to-day business of the Senate, or they could just move quickly to dismiss this. No matter what path they choose, again, it's a body controlled by Democrats, and even Republicans in the Senate have expressed a lot of skepticism about the constitutionality of impeaching Mayorkas based upon what they say is a policy disagreement rather than a high crime and misdemeanor. So it's a foregone conclusion at this hour that Mayorkas will not be removed from his job and will likely be acquitted by the Senate. The question becomes, how does the timing of all this factor in? The Senate isn't expected to return until the end of this month, Lindsay.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us from Capitol Hill. Jay, thank you so much. Now I want to bring in ABC News contributor and former representative from Virginia, Barbara Comstock, who joins us now to break down the politics at play behind the House vote to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas. Barbara, highly unlikely that he's going to be charged in the Democratic-controlled Senate, but the Republicans in Congress will press forward regardless. What are they hoping to gain here with Republican voters?
Well, really, this from now on just ends up being kind of a fundraising thing, because not only will he not be convicted in the Senate, which requires a 2/3 vote, he won't even get a majority against him, because you will probably have Republicans like Senator Romney, maybe Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski join Democrats. So they'll probably even be under 50%. You know, unlike Donald Trump, who had a bipartisan group of members for impeachment, they just fell short of that 67. So this really was a substitute for President Biden being impeached, because that impeachment is not going so well. And this isn't going to have, you know, much steam left in it. But the real tragedy is there are really people suffering at the border. There have been bipartisan work done in the Senate on this, very conservative Senator Langford. Certainly people in the House and Senate, Republicans who wanted to see that go forward. And now people at the border, people who were living there who really wanted to have that solution, whether it was perfect or not, they wanted it. They're the ones who are really suffering. Secretary Mayorkas is sort of the political, you know, victim of it all.
Yeah, a really interesting perspective there, Barbara, that you think that he's kind of the fall guy. Since the president couldn't get impeached, well, we got to impeach somebody. A really interesting take there. Barbara Comstock, our thanks to you. And now to our other major story tonight, the massive winter storm slamming the East Coast, the system packing quite a punch and canceling more than 1,100 flights. And tonight, the major concern is temperatures plummet, perilous road conditions on roads that have begun to ice over. In New York's Hudson Valley, a pair of trucks equipped with double plows trying to stay ahead of the snow on Route 59. In Peabody, Massachusetts, an ambulance taking a patient to a hospital had to swerve out of the way to avoid a rollover accident. But it was all over rather quickly, as you see right there. By this afternoon, a dazzling sunset over New York City. Really pretty and picturesque there. But tonight, temperatures are plunging, and our team is standing by with which areas need to be on high alert for black ice and dangerous conditions. ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano has the latest from Connecticut.
Tonight, whiteout conditions from the biggest snowstorm to hit parts of the Northeast in years. The fast-moving system dumping more snow in a few hours than some areas have gotten all season.
Easily a foot of snow here in Connecticut's capital in less than 8 hours. Just a super aggressive storm.
Trouble starting before dawn near Harrisburg. This driver getting a push from a police officer.
Well, I was on my way to work, but I got stuck in the snow twice. They just had a guy had to pull me to the gas station.
This SUV nearly causing an accident in Warminster, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. The conditions even making this plow truck driver fishtail. In Newberry Township, a snowmobiler was killed after he hit a down power line. Accidents and stranded cars littering roadways north of New York City. Westchester County officials declaring a local state of emergency. And Canadian long-haul trucker Sebastien Vanier, no stranger to snowstorms, waiting it out there.
So you're going to sit tight until the storm passes?
Yep. So probably I'm going to go make my delivery tomorrow morning when they open at 8 o'clock.
The snow, like concrete, giving plow truck drivers in New York's Hudson Valley fits.
Heavy.
very heavy.
In Mercer County, New Jersey, it was a bad day to be on a bike or to be making deliveries.
Slippery. You know, we can't even pull our hand jacks in the snow because there's so much snow and it's icy.
New York City schools putting some 900,000 kids on remote learning, the most since the pandemic. But there were major technical issues throughout the day. Gina Cerrito had trouble getting her sons logged in this morning.
If you weren't logged into your account by the time that they started having problems, you couldn't get in.
And icy conditions near Boston sending this car rolling over the median on I-95, nearly crashing into the ambulance that was recording this video, a passenger inside. The storm knocking out power to tens of thousands across the Northeast, and more than 3,000 flights canceled or delayed at crucial Northeast airports.
A lot of disruptions in the sky. Rob Marciano joins us now from Connecticut. And Rob, I understand there's real concern tonight about ice and dangerous road conditions.
Yeah, it's been, hey, Lindsay, it's been a really, pretty warm day for snow. It's been very wet, heavy snow, and road crews have done a really nice job actually getting at least the highways and some of the main roads cleared of it, but certainly secondary roadways, and there are areas where this wet, slushy snow remains, and temperatures are dropping tonight, well below freezing into the lower to mid-20s and teens in some places, so there will certainly be some hard pack and icy spots tomorrow morning where folks are going back to work, and those kids that had today off are certainly going back to school. Could be on the slippery side. Lindsay?
You got to take your time out there on the roadways. Rob, thank you. And now let's get right to ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, who's tracking it all for us. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Lindsay, you're right. That wet, heavy snow is going to compact and then not go anywhere because the temperatures dip into the 20s tonight, into the teens in parts of Pennsylvania. So that's why you'll see that refreeze of anything that did get a little bit of melting or compression. But we're going to warm things up. By the end of this week, we will see high temperatures back to what is average for this time of year. For New York City, that's low 40s. Boston should get up into the upper 30s. So a little bit of a swing here coming from our storm. But I also wanted to mention, now that we've had our biggest, and I put that in quotes because it feels not so big if you're putting it into big perspective, but still was the biggest snowstorm in more than 2 years in New York City at 3.2 inches. Well, that puts us in total at 5.5 inches, which is still more than a foot shy of where we should be to date on average. Lindsay.
And Ginger, while the Northeast is digging out from this snow, the Great Lakes region, parts of the Midwest are still wondering where winter is. Should they expect an appearance from Old Man Winter anytime soon?
That's the thing. There are a lot of sites in the Northeast that have had maybe top 5 warmest winters to date. But you go to the Great Lakes, and many of them are having #1 warmest winter to date. The Great Lakes themselves, those big bodies of water that I grew up on, well, at this moment, have less than 3% ice cover. That is extremely low, not just any point in the season, but especially right now, because usually late January and early February, we see the coldest air of the entire season in the Great Lakes. We have not seen that. And so usually you'd be at 38% for ice cover, but we're at less than 3. Lindsay.
Wow. All right. Ginger Z for us. Thanks so much, Ginger. President Biden is calling Donald Trump un-American after Trump said he would encourage Russia to attack one of our NATO allies if they didn't up their defense spending. President Biden is also furious at the Republican-led House, which is set to block aid to Ukraine. They say it's because of the border, and yet they turned down that bipartisan border deal last week. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, President Biden imploring House Republicans to pass additional funding for the war in Ukraine, saying the U.S. has to send Russia and the world a strong message.
Supporting this bill is standing up to Putin. Opposing it is playing into Putin's hands.
He says the stakes got even higher when Donald Trump said he would actually encourage Russia to attack our NATO allies that failed to meet defense spending targets. Just the suggestion that Trump would support Russia attacking one of our allies infuriating Biden.
I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
Biden today firing back.
No other president in our history has ever bowed down to a Russian dictator. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I never will. For God's sake, it's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American.
The president saying House Republicans now face a stark choice.
House Republicans, you got to decide. Are you going to stand up for freedom? Or are you going to side with terror and tyranny? You're going to stand with Ukraine, you're going to stand with Putin. Will we stand with America or with Trump?
The $95 billion spending package, which also includes funding for Israel, has already passed the Senate with significant Republican support. But House Speaker Mike Johnson refuses to even bring it up for a vote. He says no more foreign aid without tougher border security measures. This, though, just last week, under pressure from Trump, Republicans rejected a bipartisan compromise, including the toughest border measures in decades.
Speaker Johnson, you want to fund Ukraine. National security begins with border security. We have said that all along.
Our thanks to Mary Bruce. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin today was discharged from Walter Reed Medical Center after being treated for a bladder issue. Austin, experiencing symptoms, was readmitted to the hospital's intensive care unit on Sunday and put under general anesthesia for a non-surgical procedure. Austin canceled a trip to Brussels set for this week. This was the secretary's third hospitalization since his prostate cancer diagnosis in December. And we still have much more ahead here tonight. Coming up, are you sitting on travel rewards? Why one expert says now may be the best time to redeem them. But next, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture back on display, marking a milestone for this iconic structure.
Whenever news breaks,
we are here in Israel, a nation at war after that brutal surprise attack by Hamas.
On the ground in Ukraine, reporting from Lewiston, Maine.
The scene of a horrific mass shooting.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
In rolling forth, this tornado tore through this little town.
From the most devastating disaster in Hawaii.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
In Iceland, let's go.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
From the front lines.
From southern Israel.
Outside the Gaza Strip.
In Beirut.
From the FBI.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming.
ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Everything is so fine. Little bit of sunshine. Dance more, just a little bit. Breathe more, just a little bit. Smile a little more in a minute. I've been running through the strange life. Pictures on my phone life. Everything is so fine. Little bit of sunshine.
Good morning, America. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane.
Celebrity attorney Tom Girardi.
This story was a nuclear explosion. Today, several victims will get a chance to finally meet Erica Girardi.
I'm at sort of a loss for what to say.
Did you see the documentary?
The Housewife and the Hustler? I did.
I wanted Erica to say, I'm sorry, face to face.
Erica, why did it take you so long?
The Housewife and the Hustler 2, only on Hulu.
I'm Matt Rivers, and that is the Panama Canal. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We're tracking several headlines around the world. Nearly 5 years after an inferno tore through Paris's iconic Notre Dame Cathedral, work crews are finally removing some of its scaffolding, revealing the new spire at the top, a golden rooster with flaming feathers, symbolizing the nearly 800-year-old cathedral rising from the ashes. The Gothic masterpiece will reopen in December, unfortunately not in time for the Paris Summer Olympics. A capsized vessel off the coast of Tobago in the Caribbean has spilled enough oil in the past week to mar more than 9 miles of pristine beaches. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago says they have no clue who owns the vessel or where it came from. Ukraine has destroyed a third of all Russian tanks at this point. That's more than 3,000 since the beginning of the war. This according to a new report by British Military Research Center. And many of those destroyed tanks include Russia's most modern ones. The report also assesses that Russia still has 4,000 older Soviet-era tanks in storage and enough capacity to keep fighting for at least 3 more years. All right, switching gears now. Are you sitting on travel points or airline miles? Now may be the time to redeem them for the international trip that you've been saving up for. ABC News' Ike Ejiachi reports on how you can go on the trip of a lifetime for a better price.
I think now is a really good time.
Darren Soler, founder of TripRise, a company that helps consumers build a travel point strategy and maximize those points, says since the pandemic, making the most of your points has been difficult. Travel had stopped completely, and then we entered the so-called revenge travel period.
So, basically people taking revenge for the fact that they weren't able to travel for so long by taking all those trips that they had wanted to take.
Soler says people's willingness to spend extra on travel meant fewer point redemption deals. But that may be changing for international flights.
Very recently, within the past, 2 to 3 months, there's been a lot more availability on flights overseas to popular destinations in Europe and Asia and South Pacific.
When looking to redeem your points, Soler suggests checking foreign carriers like Air France, KLM, Virgin Atlantic, Air Canada, and others.
A lot of travelers may be thinking, I don't travel on those airlines. I don't have a lot of points on Air France, KLM, or any of those. But the credit cards that a lot of the U.S. banks offer these days, where you can earn points that you can transfer to airlines, all of those foreign carriers are covered by those points programs.
And if your miles are for a domestic air carrier, try booking through that airline's foreign partners.
If you want a flight on Delta, for instance, you can sometimes find the Delta flight on Air France for much cheaper than you can find it on Delta.
When you do your flight search, Soler recommends using websites like pointsyeah.com and point.me, which will search through the foreign carriers and find the lowest prices for you. And if you're looking to accumulate points for future travel, Soler highly recommends those credit cards that offer transferable points programs from banks like Chase, Citibank, Capital One, and American Express.
And still to come, our DeMarco Morgan takes his friends for a preventative and potentially life-saving procedure.
Why do so many people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in the know and get a different take on the day's top stories.
A lot of news today, so let's get into it.
Listen now to the Daily News Podcast honored with 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards and see why the New York Times calls it a news podcast worth listening to. Start Here, ABC News. Make it your daily first listen.
Now, that's a part of the story I bet you didn't see coming.
Wherever you get your podcasts, Start Here. With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. From America's #1 News comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane.
Celebrity attorney Tom Girardi.
This story was a nuclear explosion. Today, several victims will get a chance to finally meet Erica Girardi.
I'm at sort of a loss for what to say.
Did you see the documentary?
The Housewife and the Hustler? I did.
I wanted Erica to say, I'm sorry, face to face.
Erica, why did it take you so long?
The Housewife and the Hustler 2, only on Hulu.
And welcome back, everyone. This Black History Month, we are celebrating the community and also raising awareness about issues that impact Black people. Black Americans are 20% more likely to get colorectal cancer and 40% more likely to die from it. But it's specifically Black men who are at the most risk. ABC's DeMarco Morgan takes a look at the importance of getting a colonoscopy, and it could just save your life.
So today is prep day, and tomorrow is the big day.
I got this first one down. It's pretty tough. I gotta try to finish this in less than 2 hours. I think I can do it too. Wish me luck.
24 hours before the procedure, we are put on a clear liquid diet. The next morning, we are on our way.
Ronnie, you nervous?
Yeah, actually I am, but I'm all right.
I'm not nervous, I'm ready.
He nervous. I'm nervous too.
May I have your last name and the doctor you'll be seeing today?
Last name is Morgan, and the doctor is Dr. Pacheco.
Dr. Paolo Pacheco, a gastroenterologist here at the Manhattan Endoscopy Center, and NYU Langone will be performing our procedures.
So how do you guys feel this morning? Did preps go okay last night?
Yeah. And is it true that the prep is like the worst part?
The prep actually is the hardest part, and the anticipation, right? It's really important to follow those instructions, and you guys obviously did, so I appreciate that.
Dr. Pacheco addresses one of our biggest concerns.
What's the level of pain?
You should feel no pain.
Okay.
So the anesthesia that we provide is going to basically relax you, make you really comfortable, and just put you at ease. So you'll feel as if you're having a really nice sleep.
And is this the first time that you've seen a group of guys come in together to get colonoscopies?
Absolutely. So this is very unique. You know, flying up here for this is pretty great.
And the doctor's take on why it's often tough to get men on board for screenings like this.
I don't know what it is, machismo, whatever it is, men are less likely, I think, to be as willing to do this.
Along for the ride,
Dr. Darian.
ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton.
We don't get these screenings. We don't talk to our family members about it. So that's why I'm so excited to be here today and to do this process with you.
Ronald Stewart?
It's on to our pre-procedure assessment, where a nurse takes our vitals.
Do you have any pain right now anywhere?
No, I'm a little tender.
And reviews our medical history.
No problems with your lungs, asthma. Okay.
Then into our gowns.
You ready? You ready?
Are you nervous?
Yeah, not as nervous as I was when I walked in.
I am so proud that you were doing this.
Thank you.
Not
This is
only
important.
Just in general, but in front of the world. As black men, statistically, there are some studies that show that we're less likely to be offered colonoscopies. But what you're doing today is going to save more lives than I can ever do in a shift in the ER. So when you wake up, you're going to feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and screened. And then we're going to be done.
Clean. Screened and clean. Come on out, Ronnie.
Just before heading in, we ask any last-minute questions.
Ron Stewart, man, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
I'm up first.
Oh my God, it's about to happen now.
Usually a few seconds before it all becomes real, right?
It's real now.
Yeah.
The anesthesiologist monitoring my vitals throughout the procedure.
And what you see here is the inside, and this is all normal healthy tissue, which is what we typically see.
A team of technicians are assisting him. A short time into the colonoscopy, the doctor finds something.
There is a polyp there. So that's a little polyp. This is what we basically do colonoscopies for. I can't tell you the pathology until next week, but this looks like a traditional common adenoma.
Dr. Pacheco removes the polyp.
Open it all the way.
Where it will go to a pathologist to test for cancer.
Close. Cut. Perfect. So cecum clear, ileum clear, ascending colon 1. Oh, there's another polyp.
A second polyp also removed for biopsy.
That's exactly what we want. The polyps in the middle, see the normal tissue around it, and we suction that. Watch this. In the channel.
So now the polyp is gone.
Less than an hour later, my colonoscopy is finished, and I felt nothing.
Your colon looked fantastic, DeMarco.
Up next, Alfred.
Alfred's prep is excellent, and there is a polyp here.
Like me, Alfred ended up having 2 polyps removed for biopsies.
Close. Perfect. We have completed the exam. Just one, that's it. That's it. Nothing bad.
And finally, Ronnie.
So I'm going to slowly withdraw.
Despite conducting the prep properly, Dr. Pacheco found that a third of his colon wasn't fully clear. The doctor did work searching for polyps in the portions of his colon that were visible. In recovery, we are monitored by the nurse and anesthesiologist.
You're in recovery now, okay? Everything went fine.
Your procedure went perfect. It was exactly what we normally see. Your colon was really well cleaned out. You did a great job.
I felt a little groggy, but grateful.
I don't know why I'm emotional.
It's okay.
As for the fellas, they recovered as quickly as I did, feeling great with no pain at all. We compared notes.
To me, the toughest part was the prep, and I thought this would be the toughest part. This was actually the easiest.
Yeah.
If I had to tell my friends, I would say it's not that bad. It's one day.
We have an idea of what we think this is, but honestly, I'm glad I did it.
You now are an example of the fact that when it's over, it's no big deal.
One day that can save your life. One sacrifice.
Potentially life-saving test right there. Our thanks to DeMarco and his friends for that. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, Pluto TV, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. The news never stops. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Have a great night. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families